Wow! Oh, you got to be kidding me! You've got to be kidding me!
Stole a run. You have got to be kidding me. Javi Baez.
Keep going. Go!
Check away, and now the counter. Here come the Caps. Kuznetsov gets loose. Evgeny coming down the middle. A shot, and it comes in over. He scores! He scores!
And they start with a horrible snap all the way back to the 2-yard line, and the Browns bounce it into the end zone where they wind up with a touchdown. Of all crazy things, you don't go to the playoffs for 18 years, and that is the way it starts in the first 14 seconds.
Of Pittsburgh Sportsline in the BPTV studio. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you there. On Facebook, we hit 7,500 followers, so thank you for all that. We don't have Facebook up right now. We got some technological difficulties like we have, so I got a minute to say. A lot of you wonder, did Smokin' Jim play sports? Did Chip play sports? Did Steve play sports? And did the talking machine do anything but talk? Here's my Letterman's jacket, 1973-74. Played football and got my letter for that. And I think it fits. Chip said, watch that belly.
I said it's all shirt.
It's all shirt on the outside.
Know what I mean?
But I got, salute the Keystone Oaks. Way back in the day there, so got to show that off. YouTube, we're at 491 subscribers. Thanks for all the people watching it. And then with our Donnybrook fights, I was going to do it then, but we got 5,300 views on there. That's the most we've had with boxing since we started live streaming 5 years ago. So thanks to everybody doing that. And Facebook will be up shortly. We'll get notification on there. But I'm Al Levine, the talking machine. Smokin' Jim Frazier, not a baseball fan. Chip Hayner, a Pirate fan. Steve Krasanti, a Pirate fan. And Al Levine, my first minor league baseball before Little League was the Pirates. So I'm a Pirate fan, longer than Chip. I got him beat on a technicality. I was born before him. We got a lot of great stuff to talk about. And we're going to just go to promos. Well, let me first thank everybody watching us, Verizon Channel 32 in the greater Pittsburgh area in Bethel Park. Thanks for watching us on Comcast 21, only in Bethel Park. We appreciate you. You've been watching the show since October 11th, 2011. Double salute you. We appreciate it. We wouldn't be here without you and me talking nonstop. These guys will get to talk after the promos in 10 seconds.
This is Elle Stravic with your Bethel Park Minute. The Bethel Park Job Fair takes place this Thursday, April 9th from 4 to 7 p.m. at the Bethel Park Community Center. Learn about job openings offered by over 40 companies scheduled to be in attendance, including 2 current openings within the municipality. If you're looking for work, you should come to the Bethel Park Community Center this Thursday. No Cook Tuesdays continue this week from 4 to 7 p.m. at the Bethel Park Community Center parking lot with Via Food Truck, Forlini's Kitchen, and Fun Foods. The deadline to sign up for the April 25th Spring Cleanup Day is this Friday, April 10th. You may call Haya Eason at 412-831-6800, extension 204 with questions. Save the date for the first yard waste drop-off event, which will take place on Saturday, April 18th on Slater Road from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. This service is only available to Bethel Park residents, and no full trees or commercial loads will be accepted. If you're interested in speaking with state and county representatives, Representative Summer Lee maintains a satellite office in the Municipal Building Conference Room 202, the second and fourth Tuesdays of the month between the hours of 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And also, the Allegheny County Treasurer holds satellite office hours at the municipal building in the same location on a monthly basis. And that next time slot will be on Thursday, April 23rd from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. This has been Al Stravic with your Bethel Park Minute.
Frank Fanera, owner of Olive Oil's Pizzeria and the Hillcrest Shopping Center on Route 88. Call them at 412-831-1900. Every Tuesday night, Olive Oil's Pizzeria provides the host and the amazing volunteer crew with an XL pepperoni pizza and a full steak hoagie. They are delicious. Olive Oils is proud to support Pittsburgh Sportsline and the volunteers at BPTV. Stay Joey strong. Joey Fabus died at 8 years old of brain cancer known as DIPG. Since then, the family has come together with community members to create the Joey Fabus Childhood Cancer Foundation, a 501c3 nonprofit. Since being founded, they've raised over $100,000. Go to jfccf.org to learn more about DIPG, to help spread awareness, and to see how else you can support and donate towards the fight against this dreaded brain cancer. Always Be Smiling, a 501c3 designed to help children and families in need of kidney transplants. The B stands for Bennett, whose memory is embedded in this organization by his parents, Kristen and Dean. Despite the challenges he faced in his 16 and a half years of life, Bennett always had a smile on his face and spread kindness to everyone he could. Now, Always Be Smiling wants to pass on that kindness. Go to alwaysbesmiling.org to learn more and see how you can support or donate to this organization. The Bethel Park Community Foundation has money for you. I'm Al Levine, trustee on the board of this great organization. The BPCF focuses on raising money to provide scholarships, grants, endowments, and more. Grant requests are available online from $100 to $5,000. You can also attend fundraisers or donate. Go to bpcf.org to get more information and to stay up to date on upcoming events. The Bethel Park Community Foundation, focusing community resources, building for the future. The Bethel Park Historical Society is a 501c3 that serves Bethel Park. The Historical Society operates out of the Schoolhouse Arts and History Center, located at 2600 South Park Road. Look for the red and white trolley right out front. Reginald's Coffee is inside, and I've heard it's the best coffee around. To visit this great historical venue, email historicalsocietybp@gmail.com. All right, we're back. We've been having technological difficulties. Smoking Jim's watching it. He gave us some analysis of it. Wow, that looks good on TV. Look at that backdrop behind there. I got to pat myself. Oh, I can still do that? Yeah.
I can't.
I know.
Yeah, my arms
We were
aren't
just
that long
talking
anymore.
arthritis to the right of me, arthritis to the left of me, and we don't know what heart conditions and mental thing. Oh, never mind. He had that brain surgery. If you notice, he has a zipper cut across his head. Oh, he's got the hat on. All right, sorry about
He's
that.
repping out them Southsiders.
Whoa. All right.
White Sox.
They were out of the trunk.
The Northsiders are the Cubs.
I understand. All right, we're going to talk some sports now, I hope. What's on your mind, Smoking Jim Frazier?
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. And if you want the green, you got to see Levine.
That was the curveball.
That was a former Eagle, right? It's Keystone Oak Eagles? Yeah, former Eagle. Nice throw, man.
Yeah, that was a curveball, though.
But I tell you what, man, Al Levine, the talking machine. We got Steve here, man. Can't wait to hear what he has to say. I know Chip's going to talk about the Pirates and the Penguins. My man Malkin is hurt. You know, that's one of my favorite players, Al Levine, the talking machine. But what I want to talk about now, Pitt used to be it. Al Levine, the talking machine. Now they can barely qualify for the playoffs. Al Levine, the talking machine. Pitt used to be it. but I'm not sure if they had any players invited to the combines. Pitt used to be it, but now they got to cover up 30,000 seats because nobody wants to go watch them play at home. Pitt used to be it, but now this year they're closing the spring game to the public, Al Levine, the talking machine. And if anybody understands college football, evidently Pitt doesn't, Penn State does, West Virginia does. It's not for the players. It's for the parents and the fans, Al Levine, the talking machine. Listen, it's for the Rudies, these guys that work all year long in the fall on the scout team. And Steve will tell you, when you're on the scout team, they find the worst 11 guys to go against the defense. The worst 11 guys to go against the offense.
You know too much. When you say Rudy's, can you explain what you mean by that?
Go ahead, you can explain.
No, I really don't know.
Yeah, Rudy was a movie made by a Notre Dame player that walked on.
Yeah, see, I knew, but I have to try to get him to talk sense before he goes down a rabbit hole.
And see, those guys, the only time they get to play in front of their parents since high school is the spring game. You know, all your backups gets to play in the spring game. It's a celebration. It's a pat on the back. It's a congratulations for all the stuff they got to put up with for 364 days out of the year. The one day out of the year they actually can play in a game in front of people, and Pitt's closing it. It's for the recruits. Recruits come, and, you know, that gets them excited about signing with your program. Listen, Al Levine, the talking machine, they could have moved it to Highmark Stadium. They could have moved it to Robert Morris. They could have moved it to a high school stadium. In football, we used to love to play at Keystone Oaks, best grass they had in the WPIL back in the day. Pitt blew it.
Couple stadium.
No, I wouldn't even send anybody there. But I tell you what, Al Levine, the talking machine, worst move Pitt made in a long time, closing the spring game to the public.
Well, see, and you were saying that the spring game is not really for the players.
Right.
And I think what the administration did was they want to get the players acclimated to what it's going to be like playing a home.
That's cold.
I'm glad I'm following Chip.
That's cold. Al Levine, the talking machine.
Chip and Smoking, you played football. I don't know, but back in the day, because you're not as old as me, but we had practice, and guess what? Not one parent watched our practice.
Right.
And I didn't even want them to watch us practice.
Right.
Then my son's playing football. They go, you going to watch him play? This is like in the 90s. I said, why would I watch him practice? I go, Drew, you want me to watch you? He goes, no. My thing is, I don't know about your parents. Your mom probably never saw you play because she had to take care of other people and, you know, brothers and sisters. So your dad went, but don't families get to see their kids playing a game?
No. Not at college.
I'm not saying the whole team.
When there's 150 players counting walk-ons and gray shirts and transfer portals, most of those kids never get to play.
I wanted you to explain that. That's why.
Barry Sanders didn't get to play for 3 years until the spring game.
So his parents never saw him play.
So it's an opportunity for somebody to play in a fun game with equipment, you know, against your own team, but in front of fans, and they're taking that away from the kids.
And I think what that does is that points to what part of the problem is, what they've done to college sports just in general. Because it used to be about recruiting players to come and play in your program that would stay for more than a minute or a cup of coffee. So right now, you want to recruit players, you open up the checkbook. Okay, they're not there for the atmosphere or anything like that. My sister is an administrator down at Point Park College, and
they don't have football.
They don't have football, but they do have sports. They've got a baseball team that's nationally acclaimed, and she deals with these players when they come in as freshmen, and they come in with a game plan. They're like, I'm here because of the money. You know, the only reason why I'm here is because of the money they're paying me. Wow. If I would have got more money to go to Joe's Barber College, that's where I'd be playing ball. You know, and that's what's become of college sports. And to speak to your point, like, Your parents didn't come to see you practice?
Yeah.
I wonder how much that was a product of the coach not wanting your parents to see the way he treated you at practice, because back in the day, coaches were brutal, and what they did back when you were an athlete and when you were an athlete, they get thrown in jail for now.
Yeah.
It's child abuse.
Yeah.
Well, we were taught it's tough love. It was tough love if they grabbed your helmet and shook you a little bit.
Now that's assault.
Yeah, but guess what? I played
You're
much better.
You're on the police force.
I played much better. I learned to play.
It'd be a nightmare taking a report for that.
Yeah, I learned how to be a better player and everything else with them yelling and whatever else they did, making us run afterwards. And they would have told the parent, here, come down here and show me how your son should play.
My father
They
had
would
been
have
like,
told him, hey, Chip, you know so much. Come down here and teach him to play so he can block.
my father would be like, you know what? If anybody's going to abuse my son, it's going to be me. You know.
Well, you come from a military family, so
You know?
we say no more. But
I learned how to stay in line.
Smoking Jim, you made some good points for 150 players on a team, but we only had about 40 on our team.
Yes, sir.
The thing with Pitt, though, what I was told, what I heard was that due to the draft,
Yes.
they were not going to have that. I don't understand why you wouldn't just move it to Highmark
That's
or
his good
something like
point.
that.
That's
it makes
why I said
absolute no sense.
we agree on
whatsoever.
that part of it. Yeah.
know.
Well, wouldn't you?
Well, I've
figure-
got to wonder who's
You-
making
How about
these
the
decisions.
money?
You would-
Maybe
you
they
would
don't want
think-
to spend the money.
if you didn't want to have it at Acrisure Stadium, which I could understand, okay, but they got 700,000 people they say they're expecting here over that weekend,
Yeah.
okay? If you had it across the river at Highmark, don't you think somebody might want to say, you know what,
Well,
I
it's
don't
April
feel like
11th.
sitting here drinking my face off. Let's go watch spring practice.
It's April 11th, the spring game.
Okay.
It's April 11th. Yeah.
Well,
needed
you
to
could have
clarify
you
that.
could have rescheduled it because,
And-
of course, nobody's going, so you don't have to worry about
The
anybody
NIL
canceling their plans.
is just going to ruin college sports.
It
The
has.
NIL will. It has, but it's going to get worse. They have to do something to change it. I mean, you see what's going on in North Carolina right now, right?
No, what happened?
They fire the basketball coach.
Okay.
They have to replace him, so they're going after all their donors to sit there and kitty in some money to you know what I mean? Because
they
they got
gotta
to pay his contract.
Oh, wow.
So I mean, and they don't want to lose the guys on the team already.
Yeah.
We're talking 5-star recruits and all that, so they're
Yeah.
in a panic mode. It is the ruination of college sports, and it's never going to be the same. I don't know how you fix it, and I don't think you can ever make it,
Well, they
as
didn't. they
good as
didn't-
it once was.
I had said when they were first doing it, you need guardrails, and I got an example for you. Last month, I read a lot of stuff.
Yes, you do.
I don't study the draft like you guys. I salute you guys. And they were saying that parents with football players, basketball players in 8th grade, they're keeping them back a year to mature.
They've always done that.
No,
They've always
the
done
reason they're doing it is for NIL
that.
money.
But they've always done that.
Smoking Jim, they do it in 1st grade. They kept you back 3 years.
Oh,
Come on, I hate to tell the truth. He was 5'8" in 3rd grade, and then he got brothers, and you wonder why your dad was in charge of the football association. See, I read between the lines, but with NLI money, freshmen are getting offers with NIL.
Well, you
In
think
high
of the
school.
evolution of college sports.
Gotcha.
It used to be that a freshman couldn't even play his freshman year.
Pete
Look at
Maravich.
Right?
Lou Alcindor,
Yeah.
Bill Walton.
Yeah.
They were player of the year their sophomore, junior, senior year.
Pistol Pete.
And so what you're not doing anymore is you're not building any team continuity. You're not building a program. You're buying basically a spot in the NCAA tournament. Is basically what you're trying
Chip,
to do.
you bring up a good point with that. Think of the name Jamie Dixon. I just watched him coach TCU, and he didn't get in the Sweet 16.
It never
What-
does.
I know, and you're right, because Negative Ned had to come on.
Oh, I love
He's one of the reasons they fired him. And he developed players over 4 and 5 years,
Yes,
and they played as a team. And their biggest complaint was he never gets to the Sweet 16 or the Elite 8. And guess what? He's still winning.
He didn't get fired. Didn't he leave?
Yeah. I'm saying
Didn't
they
he leave?
wanted to get rid of him.
But the thing is, with college basketball, more than any other college sport, it's not the team that has the flashiest player, that has the 5-star recruit. It's the team that plays 5 to 7 guys as a solid unit that are generally the teams that will go deep into the tournament. I mean, one of the few teams that you think back, yeah, there's probably more, but when Jordan was playing for North Carolina, they had a star-studded team, and it dominated while they were there. Of course, he left early because he was allowed to, but he played as a freshman, where some of the greatest players that ever played the game couldn't.
Good point.
No, those are all good points, but it's changed when you have an NCAA.
I slam a jammer.
Well,
Yeah. Even before NIL started, you would have these kids in the college basketball come in where 5-star recruits would play 1 year, leave, and then they were going straight to the NBA to begin with. So.
yeah.
Because they wouldn't allow players to sign right straight out of high school like LeBron or Moses Malone or there are a few players that were talented enough, and
Chocolate Thunder. He's
Kobe.
right out.
Yeah.
How about Kobe?
Yeah, Kobe Bryant. That's right, right out of high school.
See, I know a little bit.
Yeah, I see.
Smoking, not just you. All right. Thanks, Smoking Jim. You got a little discussion here. So we're not going to do the different segments in between. So we got Fiction and Fact is gone, not yet for Smoking Jim. We got What's on Your Mind, Chip Hayner, besides Pirates.
Hey, well, that's the only thing. Baseball season starts tomorrow.
Who's playing?
The Yankees and
Giants
Yankees and the
Hey,
Giants.
sister.
in San Francisco.
Yeah, and so the season starts, and to speak about the players, the team that the Pirates decided to come north with. Thursday they play their opening game against the Mets, and here's the Pirates, who spent more money than they've spent in a long time over the course of the winter. And does that guarantee them a spot in the playoffs? No. Do I think they have a better chance to contend and possibly make the playoffs this year than they have in half a dozen years? Absolutely, they do. But you figure they're going up against a team that's probably sporting a payroll between $250, $300 million. And I think that the Pirates are in a better position where they could compete against them. Because think about this. You got two teams that are playing on Thursday. One had a $300 million payroll last year. One had an $80 million payroll, and neither of them made the playoffs. Okay, so that doesn't, the amount of money you spend doesn't have anything. I wanted to touch on something else, and I read today that Andrew McCutchen's going to start the season out on the Texas Rangers roster for opening day. And I have nothing but, hooray for Andrew. I hope he has a great year. And I have no problem with the fact that the Pirates chose not to sign him. I think the Pirates will be a better team without him this year than they would have been bringing him back. Now, Andrew McCutchen, fan favorite, done so much for the organization. But at the end of the day, this is professional sports, and you get judged not by how popular the players on your team are. It's by how many games you win or lose. And I think that the Pirates are stronger at the designated hitter position this year than they were last. I think Marcell Ozuna was definitely an upgrade. The pitching staff looks like it shows some promise, but there's some question marks there. Bubba Chandler comes up and he's much hyped and a hot prospect, top 5 top prospect in Major League Baseball. You got Braxton Ashcraft. These are unproven commodities, and that's 2/5 of your starting rotation. You've got Mitch Keller, who's a solid. I'd say he's actually a solid 3 starter, and of course
For the
you got
first
Paul
half of the
Skeens.
season, I got to put in there with Keller.
Well, you know what?
If he can do a whole season,
He's
I'm with
been
you.
solid. He's had 32 starts, I believe, the last 2 years.
Right.
And he's going to be good. Paul Skeens, obviously, if we could get him to consistently pitch out of the fourth inning, I think he could become one of the all-time greats. You know, lots to look forward to. There is no guarantees, but I'm very much looking forward to the season. There's going to be ups and downs, as there always is. There's going to be players that we expect to perform at a certain level that are not. And there's people that we're expecting nothing out of that will perform at a level above our expectations. So 162 games will expose your flaws, and it'll also expose your strengths too. Yes, Jim.
Before the show, you mentioned that Eli Manning was 111 and 111, even though he's a two-time world champion. He's not a Hall of Famer. Paul Skeens is basically a 500 pitcher, and you said he could be one of the all-time greats. Is he a Hall of Famer?
Okay, now you were judging somebody on the entirety of their career when I mentioned Eli Manning, and you were talking about a young man who's 23 years old. It's in the second year of his career. We can have this conversation at the end of his career, and we can see what his accomplishments are, and then we could compare apples to apples. Is that fair enough?
Well, one thing about baseball, it's all about the stats. And I know being a pitcher, if you're averaging a
Here comes
strike,
the excuse.
no, if you're averaging over a strike out an inning as a pitcher, that's traditionally pretty good.
I go by wins
And
and
when
losses. I go by wins and
Yeah,
losses.
but you don't know the game of baseball. And when you have careers that are like Hall of Famers before you, because they go by stats.
I know Cy Young had 500 wins. Nobody should.
He had
get
more
that.
losses.
Nobody should
Hold
get the
it,
Cy
Mr.
Young
Negative.
with 10 wins.
Mr. Negative, he had more losses than anybody else in Major League history. Why is he in the
Did
Hall
he
of
have
Fame?
500 losses?
Why is he in?
512.
Did he have 500 losses?
Yeah,
I'll look that up.
No,
he had like
only
380 losses or something.
But Alan,
Yeah.
here's the thing that we judge a successful athlete on now, which is what I think is one of the bigger problems in evaluating major league players.
Well, that's like smoking
We
Jim.
we evaluate a pitcher's worth on his velocity and his spin rate, not on the things that actually mean something. Like, strikeouts is a good thing to have, but you know what? How many innings can you pitch? Can you pitch complete games?
ERA.
How many games do you get the decision in? Whether, you got to pitch 5.5 innings to get a win, okay? These are things that should be measurable, but no, what we care about is spin rate and velocity, the two least important things that a pitcher could do. We evaluate players at bat. What do we judge them on in their at bat?
Home runs.
Launch velocity, exit velocity. Who cares? I don't care how hard the ball's hit. You hit into a double play, you hit into a double play.
The game's so boring. You got to judge something.
It is absolutely not. Here's what: if you say the game of baseball is boring,
That's
then
everybody said
you
it.
don't
Everybody
understand anything about baseball.
ratings
and
are
that's
saying it.
okay. If you don't understand the game, that's
I
perfectly
love it.
okay.
I love it.
You
but
don't
it is
even know
boring.
it.
But
You don't know
but,
the
but
game.
baseball is far from boring. Now I'm going to tell you something. Watch paint dry. That's boring.
Chip, when you were talking about Andrew, I agree with you 100% there. I think it's funny, though, you see the Pirates going, yeah, it's time. This is the right move. It's a business move and all that. Yet we have the Steelers here with their one helmet crap with T.J. Watt paying him all that money when you could get something for him. It'll be a second-round pick. You're not getting a first-round pick from him. You have
Last year we would've
young
got
guys
one.
behind him ready to play, and one's going to be coming up for a contract. You going to pay him and have him, Highsmith, and T.J. Watt make it? So please wake up, trade him, get a second-round pick.
I'm with Steve.
It just blows my mind.
I committed blasphemy as a Steeler fan. I said trade him last year for a number 1 pick.
They don't want to do it.
Check the film.
And then in regards to Eli, I think those 2 Super Bowls, he was the MVP. And he did beat the team that went to the Super Bowl undefeated and beat them. So I have to say that he gets in. Yes. I really do.
Yes.
He got 2 Super Bowl victories. He was the reason why they won those 2 games. The defense played a very big role too, but
The same way the defense played a very big role in Terry Bradshaw's first 2 Super Bowl wins. If you remember, Bradshaw was not a very good quarterback. He won on the back of the defense the first 2 Super Bowls. The 3rd and 4th Super Bowls the Steelers won. The defense was aging, so they were starting to show their wear and tear. But it was Bradshaw's arm that came to the forefront. That's when Stallworth and Swan became Hall of Fame caliber receivers.
Well, I still think Bradshaw played a role in Super Bowl 9 and 10. I mean, he put that ball right on the money to Lynn Swan there and took the concussion. He made some great throws in that game.
He has no memory of the second half.
And he has no memory of it. Super Bowl 9,
Yeah.
the touchdown pass to Larry Brown in the end zone, rolling there, hit him, he completed a couple other.
Stupid trivia time.
Good rebuttal.
But
These are good rebuttals.
Did play a role. I mean, it wasn't like he didn't.
Stupid trivia time.
So
who scored the Steelers' first points in their first Super Bowl?
White.
yeah.
Safety.
Safety on Fran Tarkenton.
Fran the man.
My favorite player of all
Could not
time.
run him.
Fran Tarkenton, my favorite player.
Hey, that was great. The inspiration here. We got. All right, Steve Crisanti, what's on your mind?
Well, in regards to the draft, the more and more I'm looking at this, and it seems like a lot of these simulated drafts that people are putting up to are coming up with the Steelers taking an offensive line in the first round.
Yeah.
And I have to admit that when you think about it, you have a statue of a quarterback who wants to get rid of the ball very quickly.
Do we have a quarterback?
Well, we got a quarterback, but
We'll get in drama for
He
the
got-
second year.
he got no wheels on him. So he has to get rid of the ball a lot quicker. Maybe if we give him a little bit more time. I think if the guard from Penn State's there or one of those tackles falls to them, you got to take him. Because I don't think Lemon's going to be there. Tate won't be there. Tyson might be there, but like we talked about before, he had a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
And then the other one, Boston from Washington, my problem with him is he drops the ball way too much. He doesn't have good hands, so I really don't want him, and he would be your 4th. There are a lot of good receivers. You can get one in the second round where they're picking, and if you got someone you really like in the second round, you have 3 third-round picks. You can say, hey, can we move up and get that receiver at that point? But I got to take the guard or a tackle. If one of those guys there, I'm figuring you take them.
Welcome aboard. I've been saying it for 5 years. Get
Steve,
that
the problem
offensive,
I have-
defensive line.
The problem I have with all these mock drafts, I've probably seen 25 or 30 mock drafts, and I haven't seen 2 of them pick the same guy in the first round for the Steelers. And I've seen the Steelers pick anywhere from 11th to 21st. Okay? And okay, so like we're spitballing. I don't know, what their needs are. I don't know what's going to be available because it's obviously it's going to be who goes in the 20 picks before
What
they
you have
pick.
to look at with all these different these people that they pick these
Prognosticators.
I can't get the word
Well,
out.
the Mile Kiper.
And the problem you have with them
Mel
is
Kiper.
they don't do this to sit there and say, hey, look, this is my expert opinion on where the draft is. They do this for clicks, to get people to click on there, and they change it all the time just for ratings. And then the players that the guys coming on, like Ty Simpson. Ty Simpson's agent's on the phone. Hey, he's talking to Kuiper or one of these. They talk together. Okay, well, I'm going to pick the Steelers to take the. So it's all done for ratings and clicks and all that. And it's not what you're. If you had to make them pick, if their life depended on it, I guarantee you they'd be a lot different. But they change them all the time from week. Like what changes in a week?
So here's the thing. Here's the
phone
question
call.
I have to ask.
Yeah.
For all these people to put mock drafts on, how many of them are coaches, or ever coached or ever evaluated a
None of them.
player.
Most of them.
Or are they? Or most of them aren't. I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
most
I
of
mean,
them
Mel
aren't.
Kiper. What has he ever done besides be wrong?
He created an industry, though. He
He
created
did
this.
create an industry. It was really
Right?
It was entertaining and fun, but I always say, like, the year the Steelers drafted Pickett's the perfect example. He kept mocking Pickett to the Steelers, and I'm going, oh, please don't take this guy. He's not a friend. It's obvious, and he's doing it to bring in the ratings and get people to look and all that. But he has an ulterior motive, and you know what it is? He knows Pickett is not a franchise quarterback. It's not that, because he's already getting the money from ESPN because he
That's
stopped
true.
making his book and
Good
all that.
point, yeah.
Here's his ulterior motive. I'm a Ravens fan. I really don't like the Steelers. It'll be hilarious if they take Pickett because
He
he's going to
went
stink.
deep on that.
That's really where and that's what he does. That's the kind of stuff he does.
Well,
He
you've
has
seen
had
it, yeah.
Simpson going to the Steelers, and people buy into this stuff. It's like, we got to draft a quarterback. That's what it is. They're all bent out of shape. We got to draft a quarterback. No, you don't.
If you
don't.
keep putting something out on
Build
social
your
media,
roster. You got a lot of picks. Get the other positions in place so you're ready. So when that quarterback that year comes, where you may have to take capital from that year and the next year to move up to get him, then you get him. They were perfect with Roethlisberger. They had the defense was set. They had the line. They
and
had
Cowher
everything.
didn't want him. He wanted
know?
Phillip Rivers.
I know.
Yeah.
it
Because
was
Phillip
crazy.
Rivers was an
I know.
NC State alum. So I have one last question about the draft. Okay, and I watched him play for his career in Happy Valley. Is Drew Aller a first-round draft pick?
No.
Is he a franchise quarterback?
No.
Smoking Jim.
Well, just to get back to Cowher, Cowher coached in the Senior Bowl, and Phillip Rivers destroyed everybody in the Senior Bowl. That's when Cowher fell in love with him. But you're right about the NC State too. But if you go by size, arm strength, and experience, he is a first-round draft.
He has the tools.
Got the tool?
That,
But
that
if
the
you look at
teams
his
want.
performance in
No,
big
horrible,
games,
horrible,
But
horrible.
I
you
mean,
can't.
he failed miserably.
Well, Smokin', I got a
And
question.
never could get the ball to the
Some
wide receiver.
some people can't read a defense. Like he's told me Bradshaw couldn't when he first come up. Allard never could read a defense.
Well, there's a tight end for Indianapolis that may say different. He caught 100-some passes his senior year, the best tight end in football right now. that played at
I know
Penn
who you're
State.
talking about. Yeah.
And that was all from Drew. He could hit a tight end.
Yeah,
He could hit
but
a tight end.
unlike Kenny Pickett,
Yeah, but then those are what, 10, 15-yard passes.
Well,
Five,
The guy is
3 yards,
The guy
4
is a
yards.
phenomenal tight end, man.
And anyhow,
He could do it
Bradshaw
all.
couldn't read
So
fun
that-
with
he-
Dick and Jane.
yeah. All right, we can continue this another time, but all right, Al, what's on your mind? March Madness. I played a bracket once when we had a guy, Little Z. I never played brackets. I think of my dad, may he rest in peace. He would watch every basketball game from every division. He won over a 10-year period 4 different contests.
Wow.
He won because he could pick upsets in the first 3 before the Sweet 16, and even there. He was in 2 different ones he went to, and I knew some of the guys, and they go, "How's your dad do it?" I go, "I can't talk to him a lot of nights during basketball season. He's watching teams." So I never got into it, but I understand it. Then I think back, what happened to Sean Miller? Remember the local star here?
Yeah.
And he got caught up in all this controversy and
Head
stuff.
coach of Texas.
Yeah, and he was exonerated, no guilt, but look at that, ruined what would be a guy's great career. So now he's with the Texas Longhorns, and they're playing to get to the Sweet Six, or in the Sweet 16. Then what about our local guy, Calipari?
Yeah.
Look at the teams he was on. Look at what he's done.
Yes, sir.
How does he get these players?
Yes, sir.
And look at, he got Arkansas.
Yes, sir.
And they're talking about that's one of the top teams. So how does that Pittsburgh Three Rivers create these great coaches and players? I salute these guys.
Well, they
I've
never-
watched a few games. Then people don't like Duke. I like good teams, and when they play well, I like them. And I saw Duke this year, the last few games, they're getting crushed in the first half. And their coach, he's yelling at these players. They come back and win by double digits.
So the people that you mentioned, the coaches,
Yeah.
every single one of them has been canned for cheating somewhere.
Yeah.
So how is it that coaches can cheat in the professional and the collegiate level, get
Fired.
axed, and next year they're coaching in another program doing the same things that got them fired over here? Because you don't think a tiger changes its stripes, right?
No, a leopard keeps its spots. I say a leopard keeps its spots. I'll mention the word Harbaugh in Michigan.
Yeah. And when he was getting ready to be sanctioned as an NCAA coach, hey, the pros are calling. Same thing with Pete Carroll.
Like Chip said, everybody gets a second chance except for Pete Rose.
You're not getting me, buddy. Pete Rose got exactly what he deserved.
All right. Well, he signed to get exactly what he deserved. Then he lied about everything after that, and
Hey, you know what? Karma.
yeah, it got him. Well, he's dead, and he'll be in the Hall of Fame. So there you go.
Yeah, 100 years after Joe Jackson.
My man,
Is
Shoeless
Joe
Joe, got
Nope.
to get in. All right, we're veering off of here. Let's go.
Can I just
Yeah,
mention
yeah,
one thing?
go ahead. So you got two things because we got a bonus here.
Okay, Drew Aller, just real quick, has the tools, has the size, has the arm, those physical part of you need for the game. And there's a lot of guys like that. But the way I look at this is just because a quarterback has all that doesn't make him a franchise quarterback. Okay? He can be picked in the first round because some team is desperate and stupid. That's how I look at it. To
I
take
like that.
this guy, and then they bomb. And you see that all the time.
Yes, sir.
There are guys that came through that were Ryan Leaf.
There you go. That
Okay.
was, I was going to say
He
that.
had all
That's
the tools,
Chip's mantra right there.
and he was horrible.
Yes, sir.
And the problem is the NFL is desperate for the franchise quarterbacks, and you can't make someone a franchise quarterback if he doesn't have that it factor to do it when you need him to do it, like Joe Montana
But you know,
or
the
Dan
funny
Marino or
thing
one of
is,
those guys.
The kids that end up ultimately, like, okay, I hate using him for an example, but Tom Brady was a 6th-round draft pick. Nobody saw him as like, man, this guy is going to be the greatest
had no
quarterback.
speed
Exactly.
either.
It's not. They don't have the science down to figure out why everybody missed that.
Right, because it's not the player that plays the best in college that's going to be a great NFL quarterback, because it's not the same thing. The speed in the NFL game is way different, and the way you process the information has a lot to do with it more than physical ability.
Yeah, you piqued my interest on something. I wanted to ask you this a while ago. Remember when the Steelers drafted Terry Hanratty?
Yes, 1969, second round. Yes,
Notre
sir.
Dame?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and they were saying how good he would be and it'd be great to have him. And then I was confused being a younger man. Then they get Terry Bradshaw as the first-round pick. So
What a
that
coin
proves
flip.
your analogy
Well,
on
I
who
think
has the it factor.
from everything I've read, that the reason why they took him is he was Notre Dame's starting quarterback. So if he
I
played
heard
for
that.
Notre Dame, he's got to be good enough that he can be our
He was
starting
good,
quarterback.
man. He was
So,
good.
but because back then,
And-
Notre Dame, just like they are now, they were one of the few teams that got watched like USC.
And then you figure that was what, 68 you said?
69.
69. Okay. So you're looking at him and you're going, at some point, I think Chuck Noll looked at this and said, this isn't our guy. And when you have the first pick and the guy that's the consensus first pick, the next year you flip the coin over and you get, which was Bradshaw, you take him. You know, like I says, it's such a hard thing to figure out. Mendoza, to me, looks more like a game manager than a franchise
That's what I've heard
quarterback.
about him.
I mean, he reminds me of what's his name that was the first pick, and you think about it, he was taken one overall, and Aaron Rodgers was picked 27th. If you went back to that day, would you have taken Aaron Rodgers #1 overall? Oh, yeah. I can't think of the guy's name right now. He's messed his leg up really bad, played for San Francisco and Kansas City.
Alex Smith.
Alex Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, think about it.
Utah quarterback.
What made them think that this guy was better to be the better quarterback
He
than
played
Aaron Rodgers?
against Pitt in the bowl game.
So he looked real good
That's
against
a lot
Pitt.
of highlights.
Yeah,
A lot
Pitt,
of
Pitt,
highlights
Pitt
for
gave him a
Pitt.
lot of highlights. So
They-
there's a
they
problem
helped him.
there.
They
Well,
There's-
helped
how
the
do you
brother
think
out.
Mason Rudolph got signed by the Steelers? Because the way he played against Pitt.
Hold, I got another one for you. My friend Bruce Gradkowski Sr. His son went to Toledo,
he was a
and look
beast.
what he did to Pitt.
Didn't he go to
And-
Akron, or was it? Yeah,
Toledo.
Toledo.
Yeah, and
I thought
guess
he
what
played for the
about
Zips.
young Bruce? You know, you followed neighbors' kids, and I grew up with the Gradkowskis and all that. I'd go to watch basketball games at Seton LaSalle. Bruce Gradkowski
Great.
is firing up basketballs, passing balls. He was a greater basketball player than a football player.
every
And I
recruiter.
watched him from Pee Wee League. He was always a great quarterback.
Yeah.
But when I watch him in basketball, me and my dad are there, and they go, "That's the kid. He should go to college and play basketball." And look what he did. He made millions of dollars and as a quarterback and ended up with the Steelers. So
Well, you know, you were talking about Mendoza, and he may end up being the first pick in the draft. There is going to be so much pressure on that kid.
Sure.
That
And where you
basically
go,
he's being set up for failure,
Well-
especially on the Raiders.
that's the problem. A lot of these, Tim Couch, really
Yeah.
talented quarterback. He went to a place where quarterbacks go to die, and that was Cleveland. And this is the problem with this whole quarterback quandary the NFL has
Yeah.
right now. And I don't see no end in sight because you don't see any drafts coming up where it's like 1983, okay, with the guys that came out there.
Yeah.
Kelly, Marino, you know, Elway.
2004.
Yes. So you got to wonder, and just looking at this whole thing, and it just blows my mind that people are so obsessed with we have to get a quarterback, and now it's like the new fashion in the NFL. Well, we'll take this guy who's drafted in the first round in the top 5, and he failed here and went somewhere else and failed, and we'll take him and we'll coach him up, and he'll do what just happened in the Super Bowl this year with
Donald.
yeah. So
Sam Darnold, he was
that
seeing
doesn't
ghosts.
mean it worked once. Doesn't mean it's going to work again
Well,
for someone
think about
else.
what the Raiders
Doesn't.
did. I think maybe now I might be rethinking this. I said Mendoza's being set up to fail. Maybe they set him up for success. Because think about this. The Raiders signed Kenny Pickett as the backup to Mendoza. Mendoza can't play bad enough to make Kenny Pickett the starting quarterback.
Yeah, I think he went to Carolina, didn't he? Though he
Yeah.
just went to
Oh,
Carolina.
okay. All right. My bad.
But
Yeah,
the
he's
whole
out.
point
Traded
is,
him, didn't they?
the whole point is now you think that you could take these quarterbacks that were busts, and we're going to coach them up because one team did it and went to the Super Bowl and won. One team, so we can do that. Wilson or this guy or that. No, it's not going to happen again. Okay, I mean Patrick Mahomes will be healed up. You still have Allen. You still have all these other guys. Stop with it. It's a panic situation that these teams do.
Yeah.
And the fan bases make it worse, like here in Pittsburgh. Oh, it's just unbelievable.
All right, we'll go to Chip's trivia time right now.
Okay, so we don't have any lead in. All right, so real simple. Opening day tomorrow for the Yankees. For the rest of major leagues, it's on Thursday.
Yeah.
How many no-hitters have been thrown on opening day? Anybody got a guess?
2.
Well, that's the most boring thing in sports.
No, it's the most exciting thing
He's
in
not a
sports.
baseball guy.
Okay, Bob Feller is the only pitcher in Major League history
My hero.
to throw a no-hitter on opening day. Achieved this feat April 16th, 1940, a 1-0 victory over the White Sox at Comiskey Park. The 21-year-old pitcher, known as Rapid Robert, threw the no-hitter in 40-degree weather despite walking 5 batters and allowing no hit. Then the video that I have here shows Bob Feller's historic opening day. There's that, and then one last little piece. I know you haven't. Maybe I know you have. Maybe you have. Does anybody remember the name of a famous Major League manager named Leo DeRocher?
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
Leo DeRocher, his nickname was Leo the Lip.
Yeah.
And his significant contribution to Major League Baseball history is he made the final out in Johnny Vandermeer's second consecutive no-hitter in 1935.
Wow.
He made the final out.
People don't realize that a lot of these guys played ball. Yeah.
Why do you think they're capable of managing a team? Because they played it. And see, if you played the game, you understand the game.
Yeah.
So they, all those 4 for 5s that you had, right?
Yeah.
They weren't
I
real.
didn't know.
Thanks,
I
Chip.
didn't know till you told me.
Thanks, Chip, for explaining it. Smoking there. He needs help. All right. Let's go to Steve Crisani with some more draft information.
Well,
What do you got?
like I says, looking there, another area I think the Steelers would be could do too is take a defensive lineman in the first round because they don't.
I'm glad you're sitting on this side.
After Harmon and how old is Cam Hayward? About 35?
38.
37?
I think he'll be 38
You know,
this year.
I mean,
yeah.
how
Smoking
much longer is
Jim
he going to be
didn't like
around?
him
You don't
5
have
years
much
ago.
behind him.
Wait, 5 years ago he said he shouldn't have signed, and look what he's done, all pro.
He's getting better.
So guess what? I think the expiration date is
Well,
upon us.
It can
As long as
happen.
they give him plenty of notification of when he's going to pee in a cup.
So I'm just saying another defensive lineman might be another choice there. I like the kid from Ohio State. And
Could we
you
get
put
a
him in
no-
the middle, you ain't running on him. The Steelers are a top running defense. at
That's
that
what we
point.
need. We haven't had
And-
that since Casey.
Yeah, I mean, that'll keep the linebackers free
Big snack.
to make the tackles. So, it's another consideration. Because like I said, it's the second round, third round, you can get some receivers. You've got enough capital to move up.
Well, Steelers have historically gotten quality receivers in the later rounds in the draft, from third
Not
round on.
lately.
Well, not lately, but they've got a history.
Seems like it all fell apart when, what was the name of the coach that was the receiver coach that passed away?
Lionel.
I can't think of it. I think he was the guy that
Taylor, maybe?
Lionel Taylor.
he had
That
the
was
knack
going
for
back in
spotting
the
them.
day. Yeah, that was going back in the day.
Yeah. So
Any other last tip on looking
That's
at the
it.
draft?
That's
we got
it for
more
me.
time before the draft.
well,
This
what
is
else?
you can study what Steve says. Ignore Smoking Jim except about Pitt, and Chip and I are just listening.
Well, how about let's look at some old time Steelers that you talk about the Randy Rudishans and the Jack
Yeah.
Delaplane. Anybody remember the running back from Kansas they compared to
Laverne
Gale
Smith.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, can run like lightning.
Yes, sir.
You
broke
weren't
his
here
leg
last
and
week. He
didn't
mentioned
play.
him last week.
Yeah, it's crazy, I mean, you remember those kind of, or Jimmy Ferrani, the Flea. Remember the Flea?
Oh, I remember the flea.
And they said he dropped. Myron Cope said he dropped a pass which was totally out of character. He never dropped anything. And they said Swan and Stallworth were over there checking his hands to see if there was something wrong.
No, salute double yoy, yoy and yoy.
Yeah. So
No, thanks
How
for
about
bringing.
Jimmy Smith?
yeah,
Uh-huh.
I'll tell you what, he was a big boy,
Yes, he was. He was.
and
big.
I mean, he really,
He came in at he came at the tail end of when Swan and Stallworth were.
yeah, he took
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
USFL money.
There was a Monday night game
How about
between the
Lyman
Raiders
Swede?
and the Steelers, and I think it was at Three River Stadium. I'm pretty sure it was at Three River Stadium, and Swan and Stallworth were hurt, and they lost the game to the Raiders. Bradshaw had a good game, and Jimmy Smith torched
Yes, sir.
Mike Haynes, Lester Hayes.
Lester Hayes. Torched them all game. I mean, so the guy could play football. He was a really, really good receiver they had there. But Frank Lewis was too before when they got hurt.
Yeah.
Frank, I mean, he could
I
run.
liked him. Yeah.
And I think he was a first-round pick
First
too.
round.
Yeah.
Yeah, how about
So
the
I
running
always
backs of
remember
the
that
80s?
first
Walter
touchdown.
Abercrombie and Frank Pollard.
Yeah.
All from Baylor.
Yeah, that first touchdown against the Colts in '76 in the playoff game in Baltimore.
Yeah.
The first 2 downs, they run
Was
the ball.
that the game where the airplane wrecked into the upper
after
deck
the
at the
game.
Memorial
Yeah.
Stadium?
First and second down, they run the ball. They maybe get a yard, and Bradshaw goes back and just lays that thing perfect in stride.
He could
And
throw.
the right was on.
Yeah.
And the Colts had the top-rated offense in the league that year.
Burt
A lot
Jones
of
was their
people were picking
quarterback?
Burt Jones.
Yeah.
By the way,
Glad they don't mention
Burt Jones, there's an NFL coach who's considered one of the greatest NFL coaches now, and he said the greatest quarterback he ever saw was Burt Jones. You know who that was? Belichick.
Wow. Bella Cheater. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Burt Jones was I think he went to LSU, and he could sling the ball. He was really good. Unfortunately, he had to play against the Raiders and Steelers all the time. It goes to the post game,
Well,
they lose
the
that.
thing that made him less of a quarterback was Mel Blunt assaulting his wide receiver core.
Yeah.
Well, this
Or
discussion.
Dwight White trying to, kill him too. Dwight
Well,
White was-
back then the Steelers secondary, you didn't spend time looking for the ball. You spent time looking for who was going to take your head off.
Yeah, those were the days, and less than 2 minutes to go. So on location, we have nothing. Donnybrook, people are still watching it. Those Irish boxers and all that. The Pittsburgh
So who won,
boxers,
the Irish boxers?
No, Pittsburgh won the 100-pound trophy. It was huge. And it's been watched 5,300 times, so we salute Ireland.
How many fights were there total?
14.
Yeah,
14. And how
fights.
many did the Pittsburgh guys win?
Well, there were some preliminary ones that you take out of the 14, like 3 of those.
Yeah.
So we were like 7-5 or something.
Okay.
Yeah, we came
Well,
back. We lost the 2 previous
Our
years.
math is good.
What?
Our math is good.
Yeah,
no,
well,
my
that's that
math is
gateway
good.
math.
No, mine is good because you notice he said 14 and I come up with 7 and 5. But yeah, those were the main fights. Smoking Jim understands it. And he was so impressed with the shoes of the Irish fighters. They're boxing shoes. He goes, look how nice they are. I go, Smoking Jim, they didn't get them out of the back of a trunk, and they don't have tariffs on the shoes in Ireland.
I lost it.
So they're paying $40 for our 150. So they look good, they fought good, and we salute them. They brought some great competitors there. Any final words, Smoking?
No.
Chip?
Let's go Bucks.
Steve?
No.
All right. Please stay Joey strong, and it will get warmer a couple days. And you know Pittsburgh weather, 20, 40, 60, 20, one day.